Hey guys, Chris here. Tonight we have a story about a mother and a daughter who go on a day hike just west of Denver, and there they have a terrifying encounter. In fact, it's so frightening for them, they feel they're under attack. That's next. Okay, so I am in my studio today and we have an atmospheric river, Northern California, Northern Nevada. It's bringing a lot of water to the area, and I am inside today. And no, I cannot go fly fishing in the atmospheric river. As much as I would like to, I can't do that. Also, we have, for our beer today, we have a Bear Republic Racer 5 India Pale Ale. Say that 5 times fast. That is our beer of choice for today. Hey, there it is. Focus on that. And I got my new little stove here for atmosphere. And it puts out heat if I want it, but I don't need heat right now. But there we go. All right. Also, I wanted to mention, been getting some comments that apparently some of you are getting some kind of solicitation from me, free gifts or money or something. I am not offering free gifts, money, lottery, gift cards, presents, nothing. I have nothing but stories for you guys. That's what I offer. So if you see anything comes in your email or text, a comment, or wherever the heck it's coming from, it's not from me and it's not real, so don't click on it. And so that's all I can say about that. I don't own YouTube. I have no say in these things. I don't know what else to say. But if it asks for you to do something for money or presents or gifts, don't do it. All right, let's check out this beer here. That is really good. It's a smooth IPA, India Pale Ale, and it's got a good aftertaste to it. I like that. Cheers. Okay, so just south and west of Denver, Colorado, Rocky Mountain Front Range, is the Pike National Forest, and up there is an area called the Twin Cones. There's a north and a south twin cone. They're both peaks, little over 12,000 feet each. There's a trail that goes up there. It's a four-wheel drive trail, and at the base of that trail is called the East Kenosha Campground. It's a pass up there, the Kenosha Pass. Not too far from Denver. Really interesting. And so this mother and daughter, Deborah and Kelly, her daughter was 21-year-old Kelly. They were on a day hike, and this day hike was about a 14.5-mile out and back route to this Twin Cone Peak. They went to the North Twin Cone Peak. They parked their car just outside of the campground about noon, and they did the hike up this road. It's really an old Jeep road. You can actually drive, if you have a Jeep, four-wheel drive, and you're wanting to do this, you can drive all the way to this North Twin Cone Peak. Pretty wild. Great views up there, apparently. They did this hike, worked their way up there. There's some switchbacks in the steep section. Got above tree line, got to the peak, hanging out up there, enjoying the view. It was about 3:30. Had some food, took some pictures, and then on their way back, they were coming back down over the sub-alpine country, got back into the tree line, and they both could smell something really rancid. This horrible smell. They just suddenly kind of smell it. Once they got in the tree line, it got darker. A lot of aspen trees and pine trees. And Kelly said to her mom, just shortly after that, she said, "I think I heard some tree knocks." And the mom went, what do you mean tree knocks? And she goes, I thought I heard something just a few moments ago out this way. It sounded like someone knocking a tree with maybe a stick or a rock or something. And they both thought about it, and they said, well, we haven't seen anybody since early in the day, and they were coming down. Not a lot of people go up here. And then the mom didn't hear it, so she decided to be kind of funny, be silly, and she picked up a rock and she just walked off the road into the forest, and she found another rock alongside the road in the forest, and she started banging on it like this. Made a kind of a knocking sound with rock, obviously. And then she took the rock, threw it about 5 feet into the forest, and Kelly didn't really think that was that funny because she thought she heard something. Not 2 minutes later, they heard tree knocks, but they weren't that far away. They were just in the forest, not very far away. They couldn't see anything, but they could hear tree knocks in multiple locations on this one side of the road. And they were both stunned and startled by this because they hadn't seen anybody, and they couldn't imagine a bunch of people hanging out in the forest doing this to scare some random people. Then rocks started flying over their heads, whizzing right by their heads. And now they were just terrified. What is going on here? Kelly was crying and started screaming, and the mom was so stunned, she just stood there watching all this. They didn't know what to do. The rocks were flying right by their heads. Just then, on the other side of the road, the mom sees this tall, dark shape in the forest, some pine boughs down in front, but she saw this movement of this very tall figure staring right at her. Crazy. And she was just frozen in her shoes, so to speak. Kelly saw it as well, and she, for whatever reason, she felt like she did not want to make direct eye contact with this thing, and she's looking away, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And the mom felt, and this is what she said, she felt it had hostile intentions, and she also felt that at any moment this thing, this creature, Sasquatch, could charge them, let alone whatever was doing the tree knocking and the rock throwing on the other side of the road. They were just terrified. Kelly reached over and grabbed her mom by the arm and pivoted her and kind of got her back to reality that they need to move, and move now. So they started running down this four-wheel drive road, and they could still hear this stuff happening. Rocks are still flying, and the mom remembered she had one of those compressed air horns that she got for bears, mountain lions, or whatever. And as she's running, she's trying to disconnect her backpack. Really awkward, really a strange out-of-body experience to just having this all happen, and then trying to get to something that could help maybe. Swings the pack around while she's still running, not at full speed, but they're just moving pretty quickly. Unzips it, reaches and pulls it out, and she stops, turns around, just aims it back up the road, up the mountain, and depresses it 3 times. Temporarily, this stopped the rock throwing. And they also felt like it kind of gave them some kind of a break between this creature and the sounds they were hearing in the rocks to get away. They continued down the mountain. There was still some tree knocking behind them, and the rock throwing continued for 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And they still had miles to go, 2.5 or so miles to go. Running down the road, and they could hear something in the forest following them, almost like it wanted to make sure that they left. And they didn't stop to listen and look. They could just hear it, and they just kept moving. They were so terrified. They just didn't want to have a chance for this thing to confront them on their way down. So they're heading down this road, four-wheel drive road, really rough, rugged, rocks in it, and some steep sections, and they don't know if they go around the next bend, the next switchback, that there's going to be something standing there in the middle of this road waiting for them. They didn't know that. And that was part of their fear as well. Everything wasn't all behind them, following them. It was next to them, and they didn't know if it was going to run ahead and come back the other way. It was very frightening. Just the whole area just felt scary, suspect at best. They're coming down this road, going through the switchbacks, through this forest, darker sections, open meadows, finally getting this last stretch, and they can see where the campground is, the East Kenosha campground, and they know their vehicle is just along the road past it, and they're running to get to this car to get the heck out of there. And they're about 20 feet from their vehicle, and they hear this loud, guttural, howl, whoop sound. Just a crazy loud sound. They could feel it reverberate through their bodies. It was so loud. It was just in the trees, just off to their side, the right side. Absolutely in fear, she's reaching for her car keys with the remote on it, and she's tapping it a few times. Nothing's happening because she's not even looking. She's finally hits the button, opens the doors, they jump in. They're looking around, just thinking at any second something could run right up to the vehicle, start the car, and they pull out of there, and they're just heading down the road, just relieved enough that they got out of there. Went back down the mountain, and they were so upset by this, rightfully so. I just couldn't imagine what that would feel like. That they said, somebody needs to do something about this. Somebody needs to investigate this. We are not okay with this. And they didn't really know who or what, but they just said this. And they knew they would never go back to this location, this Twin Cones area, ever again. As beautiful as it was, as amazing as it was, the fear was so great in them that they didn't never want to go back there again. And that is our story for tonight. Really crazy story. A lot of these stories have a lot of common things in them. These Bigfoot, Sasquatch seem to have this intimidation behavior where they like their space. They don't kill people, they don't attack people, but they come so close that people feel like they are under attack. They feel like they are threatened, and they feel like this presence of these creatures are hostile. And I've been communicating with some of you guys out there in YouTube, the internet, and you guys have reached out to me, and I'm talking to you, email, and I'm going to be calling some of you. And you've had very similar versions of this kind of a story where these things happen. The tree knocking, the rock throwing, the whoops, howls, and yells and screams happen. And maybe you see a glimpse of something for just moments, but you don't see the direct, it's like at night usually, or in the forest, or it's just out of view. And there's just a number of other things. The smell, the stench, the footprints, obviously, Bigfoot. And really interesting stuff. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on Sasquatch. I know we don't have a body, we don't have scientists behind us on this, but there's a number of people, a lot of reports, a lot of stories, encounters, happenings with people that are in the outdoors that experience these things from time to time. And there's enough of it around. I think there's something to this. And I just can't say 100% because I've never had a beer with one. I've never gone on a hike with a Bigfoot, right? And so yes, well, I did some portraits of him and his family. I got pictures. I got everything right here. What more do you want? I don't have this evidence, so I understand the skeptics as well, you know. And they always say, well, if everyone's got a camera, how come we don't got all these pictures? It's always blurry and stuff. So, but there is something going on out in the forest in North America and other parts of this world too. So very interesting. Those are my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below and all that fun. So I will be getting back out into the wild places soon as the weather permits me to do so. I won't go into the mountains when it's raining, during snowstorms. It's just not smart and it's not worth it for me and my life. So I'll be in my little cozy place here, but believe me, I like to get out there. I love to get out there, and that is where my heart is to be out there backpacking, hiking, fishing, doing photography, all the things I love. And that is what I'm going to be doing in 2023. That is here. So Happy New Year to you all, and really looking forward to a great new year. And we're already past the winter solstice, so spring is it's coming down the road. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to more daylight and things like that. So anyways, I could talk all day to you guys. So thank you for watching. If you like stories about the strange, unexplained, and things that go bump in the night, please like, subscribe, and comment. You guys know what to do. I don't like to harp on that. A lot of people, they talk, hi, welcome to my channel. Please like and subscribe, and then they talk for a few minutes about that's like, dude, just relax. Okay. Anyways, you guys know what to do. Appreciate the comments, and we will see you next time. As always, keep hiking.